We're following the latest breaking developments on college campuses across New York City this morning, across the nation for the most part. Police clashing with demonstrators and making arrests at Columbia University overnight. Officers cleared a building on campus the school says was being occupied by protesters. 2 lawn encampments were also dismantled. A large crowd has now gathered at one police plaza in Lower Manhattan. They're waiting for those arrested last night in protest to be released. Many are just peacefully sitting on the sidewalk and occasionally cheering when someone is let out by officers. And City College is going fully remote for classes today after pro-Palestinian protesters clashed with police last night. Overnight, the NYPD took back control of the Hamilton Heights campus. Social media video shows police officers taking down a Palestinian flag put up by protesters there, and then once again raising the U.S. flag in its rightful spot. Now, we also heard from Mayor Adams on CBS Mornings about an hour ago, saying the protesters who took over Hamilton Hall at Columbia were, quote, outside agitators and not students. The school has also reiterated that in the letter that they request the NYPD's assistance. For more on security, on the situation there, and the NYPD's response, we're joined by CBS law enforcement contributor and former deputy commissioner with the NYPD, our good friend Richard Esposito. Hi, Richard. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Chris. Good morning. So
the school requested that the NYPD move in and help out in that situation. We now know what it took to get them there, but once the NYPD came in, they came in full force. Can you take us through the process that we saw play out last night at Columbia?
Sure, Chris. Well, the first thing is you probably noticed how quick the operation was. And the first thing you saw was when they brought in the big MRAP vehicle and put up a ladder. The officers that entered the building from the upper floor, none of those officers had riot gear. They had protective helmets, beige trousers, raid jackets. They were going in a way that was not going to cause confrontation, but was going to make easy access. So that's the first thing you saw with the initial guys going in. We're told that a stun grenade was used inside to disorient people. And then the arrests were made very quickly. And the situation was over literally in minutes after, and that tells you how much preparation went into something. You've identified in advance who you're looking for. You move in with overwhelming strength, and bringing overwhelming strength eliminates the need for overwhelming force in many cases. So you don't see what you saw on other campuses in other states. There is no tear gas. There is no pushing people to the ground. They're brought out in handcuffs, put on buses, and driven down to police headquarters, all pretty rapidly. And as you look at the video, you'll see, compared to everything else around, pretty calmly.
So, Richard, let me ask you this. The police were called on by Columbia University to then enter the campus. It's private property, as we have mentioned. It's not like the police decided, hey, you know what, we're going to go storm that place right now. But from the university's perspective, we broadcast yesterday that these occupants took over Hamilton Hall. They were breaking windows. They were knocking down doors. They were locking themselves in. So once you start inflicting damage on that property and the university says, okay, now the police can come in, they have the right to come in and do what they did, which is remove those occupants from Hamilton Hall and clear out those encampments like the university asked, correct?
That is correct. There is a letter that was sent by Columbia to the city requesting that they come. This letter dates back to protocols set in 1968 during the Vietnam War, when there were 1,200 arrests during the protest at the time. And you can see this time, I think their initial reports were there about 100 arrests. So this protocol is one that ensures it's Columbia's responsibility to ask police onto their property, number one. Number two, there's a process in Columbia's own rules spelling out how that's done. Once it's done, the police can come in. In Columbia, unlike many universities, it's public security force. They're not sworn peace officers. They can't make arrests. They do not carry weapons. So they really need this police department when you get to a situation like this. They're not able to do any of this themselves.
It's amazing how no matter what, if you want to call it a breach of buildings, a riot, an insurrection, whatnot, people constantly say these were outside agitators. Columbia and Mayor Adams saying this morning that these were outside agitators. Now, there may have been some, but there were some students that were talking yesterday on camera about wanting food and water brought in for people who had broken in to Hamilton Hall. So maybe there was a few outside agitators, but these were students that were in there as well. So what are officials saying, and how does that change the approach?
I think the outside agitator phrase is always a tricky one. What does it mean? Does it mean there was definitely one person who is a professional who goes to disturbances and educates people on how they can cause more chaos, more disruption? That person has been at many protests. That person was identified, seen, and the city issued video which shows you that person. There were certainly others who weren't students. Outside agitators is the phrase the city chose to use. Sometimes it sort of implies people who came from far away. That isn't always the case. They can come from Yonkers or upstate New York, and those are outsiders. And then there were students mixed in. And I think that's likely to be what we see overall.
And Richard, final question for you before we let you go. What do the police now need to do to make sure that peace remains and they're able to go on with graduation ceremonies, that no encampments pop up back up again?
Police will stay on campus through, I believe, the 15th of the month, through graduation, and they're there to keep peace, make sure people can go to class without being harassed, make sure that Columbia can function as well as one can function, make sure no encampment is re-erected. I think that's pretty much their role, and of course their other role is one that is self-dictated, which is let's keep this from simmering at a simmer and not elevated by a confrontation with police.
All right, Richard Esposito, thanks again. Good to talk with you as always.
Thank you, Chris.